So I've had this 7-disc CD DVD changer for quite some time. I bought it as is for $9. That's what it says on the sticker there. And it's never really worked right. And I remember the last time I looked at it, I think it needed a pickup. And it's just been sitting on the shelf, and I can't even find the remote for it. But it does turn on. Says hello to you. We can open it up, and it's not the fastest thing in the world. Yeah, it definitely is not the fastest thing, but put a couple discs in there, hit play, and you'll see it doesn't do anything. It just says reading, and then eventually it'll go to the other disc, and then it just goes into an infinite loop, and it keeps trying to read. I haven't had this apart in quite a while, but like I said, I remember it needed a pickup. So I found a pickup for it. I figured, well, let's just open it up, slap it in, and see what happens. So let's go for it. Alright, so I moved over to another workbench. I have like 50 million things I'm working on at the moment. And I'm sure you know what that's like. You never have any room to do what you want. So that's why I want to get this done. Because this is actually going to my mother. If I can make this work, I'm going to give this to her. Plug this in and get these discs out of here. So it is spinning it. It just doesn't see anything. So maybe we could just leave the drawer open. Just spin this around. Just take that off. Pickup's right underneath of it. The new one that I have is right here in the box. I'm really hoping it's the right one, because I found the service manual for this. You know, the proper thing to do would be to take it apart, verify with it, what the service manual says, that, it's the same part number and everything. I didn't do any of that. I just saw the service manual and thought, that's what we're going to go with. Because I was just too lazy. I didn't feel like pulling this apart. So I'm really hoping that the part I ordered is the right part. Here is the part I ordered. That looks about right. I want to make sure the connector's right. Okay. I want to maybe change that belt or clean it up or something. But let's get it working first. So, how do we do this? Maybe take this whole piece. So I'm wondering if I could just take these screws out, lift this out. My only question is going to be, how does this unplug? Am I going to be able to do that without taking this apart? Or should I just take the bottom off? I'm going to unplug that fan, because I'm sure the microphone's making it a lot louder than it is. proper way to do this is probably to take out this whole mechanism, or maybe even take the bottom off. Although I'm seeing all the boards are screwed onto the bottom plate, so I don't think that just comes off. Just trying to think of the easiest way to do this. Alright, so that's unplugged. That's good. Ah, yeah. There it is. So we'll pull that clip. We'll take that out. And I'm going to have to put that piece on there. Okay, so we'll take that off. And try not to drop the screw. If I had to take a guess, I would say this is probably mid 2000s that this was made. Yeah, I'm not seeing any date. I'm sure there's a date on it somewhere. I'm not seeing anything right off the bat. But yeah, I'm gonna guess that this thing is at least maybe 20 years of tape's been sitting on there. So as you can see, it doesn't want to go. So I got to clean them off, or just use the old ones. And I'm thinking about just using the old ones. And we'll put this back on there. Alright, I'll clean this up. Oh, well, there it goes. Yeah, I'm going to use the old ones, and then we'll just re-grease them. Because this thing was actually in pretty good shape, except for this. I'm just going to show you there's a little spring in this side here. So I just took the top off. We'll push this down. And that's the same deal. There's a little screw, or there's a spring in each of these. So I'm going to have to take this apart. And I did it backwards the first time. So these rods go down. There's a screw that holds it in place as far as the height. And then these will just hold it down against that. And I had it backwards. I had the spring underneath of it. So now, put that on the right way. And that's what I should have done in the first place, instead of taking this whole piece off, just taking the tops off. But now I know. I'm assuming this is on some kind of a gear and it's going to lift because it's crooked, but I assume that's all part of this mechanism. Put the old one in there. Okay. Well, should we turn it on and see what happens? So here's the power. Ooh, that is slipping a lot, isn't it? Alright, we're going to replace that belt at some point if this works. Let me open this up and drop a disc in. Oh, I forgot to put that on. My fault. My bad. Try it again. Spin. It didn't spin. So either I didn't plug something in, so I didn't plug something in right. Alright, what did I mess up? It's something I just did I totally forgot about, and I didn't have the camera going, but I'm going to show you what I did. Here's the old pickup unit. If you notice, there's this piece here, and there's a little bit of you notice that is that there, a little bit of solder. There's a solder joint there. Now there's a ground, and that goes to one of the data lines. And that on the new one is completely, connected. It's soldered together, and that's there to keep static, to protect it against static electricity. I forgot to do it on this one, so I just went in there. One of those things you just don't think about it, and all you have to do, you take your soldering iron, take a little bit of desoldering braid, and just hit both sides, take the solder off it. So now we're going to see if this works, and I'm going to put this back on it. And actually, I'm not even going to put any screws in it. I want to just see if it works, so I'm going to hold this in place. So we're going to plug this in. We're going to close it. Let me turn the light off here. Let's try it again. It's spinning this time, and I know you can't see the display, but it says reading and 9 tracks. Let's hit play, and it's playing. Yep, it's playing. Okay, so let's get this opened back up. We'll put all the screws back in it. Alright, let me get this all back together, and we'll plug it into a TV and see how it works. Only problem I have is I don't have the remote. I had it here somewhere. I don't know where I put it. And I looked in the service manual, and the service manual, when I was looking for the part number for that, and it shows a picture of it, and I'm like, yeah, I remember having that, but I don't know where it's at now. So I'll find it if I have to. I'll order a new one or use a universal. But in the meantime, I can at least hit play on the front of this and change disc and just show you that it's working, and we'll test it out. So let me put this back together, and I'll meet you over by the TV. All right, so let's go ahead and test this thing out. So I'm going to stick a DVD in disc 1. And we'll put CD, little Greg Allman, number 2. I'm not going to be able to switch around tracks or anything. I don't know how this is going to work. But let's take a look at the TV there. Yep, it's playing this DVD. So then we'll switch over to disc 2. Let's just take a little while. Yeah, play. This might be a bit scratched. What are you doing? Play. There we go. And I think this disc is kind of scratched. Yeah, it's jumping all around on this thing down here. So yep, it works. That's all there is to it. So yep, it works. That's all there is to it. This was kind of an easy one, but I figured I'd record it. Hope everyone out there is doing well, and I'll talk to you in the comments. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye bye.